Kat Rockwell,
And I'm Quentin Rockwell. We're married.
and we work together.
Well, kind of.
This is Working Together-ish.
Welcome to Working Together-ish. I am Quentin Rockwell, and with me, as always, is the lovely and talented Kat Rockwell. Do we need to come up with a different thing for you?
Why am I not lovely and talented?
You are, but do I
Oh.
need to say something different?
I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, and please take a second to hit subscribe. We greatly appreciate everyone who has followed this podcast and liked and commented. We really appreciate that. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and so we are just glad to be doing something positive this year.
Isn't it kind of cool to do something positive and to get the feedback?
Right.
It's just been kind of nice.
Right. Well, we started this. This is the podcast for couples who work together. And as a couple who has worked together for several years, we realize there's not a lot of resources out there. And I don't think you would necessarily qualify this as a resource rather than an outlet for couples who work together.
I would go with outlet.
Yeah.
I would definitely go more with outlet. I wouldn't say resource because that makes it sound like we're
Professionals.
or some. I mean, maybe it's kind of therapeutic just to kind of talk all the crap that we talk about
Pretty much.
and just kind of put it out there. But at the same time, it's not therapeutic as in we're not counselors.
For-
We're not giving
For
you.
lack of a better term, this is
Yeah.
this is a safe space for couples who work together to come to,
Yes.
that where you realize, oh, other people
I like
deal with
that.
the same things that
I
we
like
deal
that.
with. Oh, we're not the only ones.
I like that because the whole safe space thing. I mean, yeah, it's kind of me, but it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, yeah, we're having problems, or yeah, we have difficulties with this, or whatever. You mean other people have difficulties?
What? Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
All right. Well, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, hopefully it's not, but our first section is called 3 Questions, where Quentin and I ask each other 3 questions.
so
I
guess,
didn't talk about our topic today.
Oh yeah,
Shall I introduce it?
yeah. Go ahead and introduce it because this is. I think I have a lot of things I'm gonna just get off my chest on this one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's gonna be therapeutic for me.
This is the therapeutic episode. So the subject of this episode is no, not like that. And really, the whole topic is, especially if we need help or we need somebody to do something for us and they go and do it, then even though they helped us and freed our time up from having to do that thing, we come in and say, oh, don't do it like that.
You have to micromanage. And
Right, right. Because it's not the way I wanted it to be done.
Stuff. Yeah.
So we see that. Well, we experience that quite a bit.
Yeah, I try not to do it, and I think I'm pretty good at not doing it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I'm that same person that it's been done to me. Like I had one dude, sitting over my shoulder. Why'd you move your mouse like that? And I'm like, you can back off of my shoulder, bro.
Right,
You can back off.
right, right,
Cause yeah.
right. Like, do you want to do it? Do you want to do
Because
it?
I will give it to you. You do it, and I have told people, supervisors, here you go.
Yeah.
All yours.
Well, do you want to get into 3 questions
Yeah,
first, or do
I
you
got
want?
3 questions for you.
Let's do it.
No, okay. Why is it so difficult for people to understand the proper way to fold laundry?
Because everyone was raised a certain way on how to fold certain items.
But it's wrong.
So then when people from different tribes come together, one method is going to rule, or you're just going to fold your own laundry the way you want it to.
Okay.
But that's it, because you were raised to fold things a certain way. That's why.
Because all right, I will tell you my method. There are things that I don't care about,
Mm-hmm.
like for instance, bath towels.
Uh-huh.
I don't care how they're folded. I don't care. We can just wrap them all up into a ball and stuff them in there. I don't care.
I care.
I know, and
I
that's
care.
why I fold the towels
Yeah.
like you like them.
There you go. Yeah.
Because I don't have a preference, but you do.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Mhm.
No sweat off me, man.
Mhm.
At the same time, I fold shirts a certain way
Yeah.
because, and I want to folded this way because the least amount of creases and the ease of getting those creases and things out when you take the shirt out.
Right.
That's why I fold and shirts and pants the way I fold shirts and pants.
Mhm.
That's the proper way.
Yeah. I think we've done a good job over the years adapting to each other's folding styles based on our strong preferences.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like to avoid folding altogether. But
Yeah.
I will say I enjoy folding towels. Like if all I
Really?
had to do was fold towels,
I will leave them
I
all for you to fold.
I'll fold towels all day long because it's just simple. Just dun, 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 dun. It's the same thing. And actually, it's not even towels. If it's the same, if it's a load of the same exact piece of clothing or whatever articles, right? I could do that all day because it's all the same. I hate when the load of
See that I
laundry.
hate that. I
I
hate all the
I
same.
hate when it's all like mixed up stuff, especially just when there's a bunch of socks and underwear, because then you have to pair them up and there's a lot involved with that. So I don't like when it's a bunch of different things in the load of laundry. But if it was just like a load of towels
Or a load of socks.
or yeah, I really don't
A load of
enjoy
the same socks.
that. I didn't have to like go and hunt for
You
the
just
pair.
grab whatever one you grab.
Then that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have. Anyway, um
What color laundry are you washing? Socks.
what color is that?
Socks.
Socks. Um yeah, yeah. Uh what has been the most difficult thing for you to learn how to do the right way? Whatever that right way is.
Wait,
Whatever it is.
hold on.
But like
Dif-
something that's actually maybe like its actual right way, and it's been difficult for you to, not necessarily difficult as far as
oh,
content to grasp, or even just mentally, just to kind of, yeah,
right.
okay, we'll do it that way.
I'll name something, but I don't think I've still gotten the hang of it. And
Okay.
you would probably agree that I haven't gotten the hang of it. I can't edge like the yard. I can't do
Yeah.
the edger.
Really?
I just can't. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I don't have a steady hand. I don't know.
Well,
It's very difficult for me to master that.
you do have to kind of know. It's like, well, the spool or whatever, I'll
Mhm.
call it the spool, whatever it is, that's spinning, that because it's going in a certain way, that it's going to pull one way and push away on another thing. So you just
Yeah.
kind of have to know that, and then you just adjust it. And then
Yeah.
once you do that, you're golden.
Yeah. It's just I still
Hmm.
it's hard for me to get the hang of.
But it's that hard, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it? Are those your three questions or do we have one more?
No, I couldn't think of a third question. I was just kind of mostly kind of interested in what's been, because everybody has a difficulty with something, and it's like learning it the right way, whether that's actually the right way,
Mhm.
or is this just somebody, or like somebody's preference on what you do, and so it's like, okay, I got to learn to do it that way, whatever it is. I mean, because
Mhm.
sometimes it revolves a lot around, work or different things. And
Right.
I mean, because there's certain things like we do when we work together that I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult for me to grasp, but sometimes it's just, I just forget.
Right.
I just need to, I have to have it written down or something to where I can just go, okay, yeah, because I don't have a preference on how it's done.
Mhm.
And in like, if you do, if I don't have it written down in a certain way or whatever,
Uh-huh.
that I'm just not going to do it that way, and not intentionally not do it. I'm just not going to do it.
And that was a long way to say you don't have a third question.
Yeah. Well,
So just to
no,
recap for the
no.
folks at home, 2 episodes ago, Quentin only came with one question. Last episode, he came with four questions. Today, you have two. So, just a reminder for the folks at home that the segment is called Three Questions.
I don't think we need to be so harsh on things being three. I mean, because I think these two questions are kind of deep and involved. So I don't think we need to be like so harsh. I mean, if you want to take things literal all the time, that's fine.
Like the number 3.
I mean, we'll figure it out with your modern Greek
It's not
ideology.
it's not like we're arguing over like the definition of a couple or a few because folks like will use the word couple.
All right, how many is a
It
couple?
A couple is 2, but sometimes you use it loosely like 3 or 4, and a few is like 3.
Four, few.
Yeah, well, a few could be 3
No,
or
a
5.
few could not be three.
Well,
A few could be 4 or 5.
because of the alliteration, because it starts with the letter F.
Exactly.
No, a couple can be. I'm sorry, a few can be 3.
No,
What would be 3 then? How would you?
4 to I don't know. You could go 6 or 7, but starts at 4.
6 or 7 depends. It depends on what you're talking about to say a few.
Yeah,
Like I have a few coupons. Okay, 6 would be acceptable. I have a few kids. 6 or 7 kids? Like you can't.
that's a few kids.
That's a few kids. Yeah, we got a few. We got a few.
Yeah, that's
We got a few.
actually. I think when you're talking about kids though, and you're saying like I got a few kids, that might be like 3 or 4. But when you're 5 and up, you got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That's a
You have
lot
a
of
bunch
kids.
of kids.
A bunch of
A
kids.
bunch. So at what point do you get to a bunch?
That's different with kids. I'd say 5 plus. That's a bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I mean that's kids. That's different.
It's
But
true.
if you're talking like,
Cats.
well, even cats, a bunch of cats. I'd say a bunch of cats. There's 2. But
1.
yeah, I'm not a cat. I don't hate cats. I'm just not a cat person. A cat fan, I guess.
Okay. Well, if we say
I had a
this
cat
segment
once.
is called 3 questions and not a couple of
It
questions,
may be
or
maybe for me. Maybe 3 for me. It may not be. I don't
we'll
know.
just
We'll
start
see.
calling it Quentin's questions, and then we get what we get.
Question. Anyway.
Well, we'll go on to mine.
Yeah, go into yours. Let's do yours.
All right.
Your questions are better anyway.
You know, I don't disagree with that. What was something that you've done wrong your entire life until you were an adult and realized that there was a right way to do it?
Pay bills.
And what was the right way, by the way?
Paying them.
Actually
on time,
paying them.
on time. That's the paying them on time. I mean, I understood paying, for the most part, but paying them on time. And
So I'm gathering that you were raised to where numbers were not like definitive figures. They were just loose suggestions.
Well, I still kind of think they are sometimes. It depends. It depends. It's like the whole thing about kids. A few kids or a bunch of kids. It's I got a couple of kids. Okay, you got 2. I got a few kids. That's 3 plus. I got a.
See, if somebody says I have a few kids, I would think 2 would be an acceptable answer to that.
Nah, I'd say 3. I'd say 3 because
I've got a few.
But see, that'd be a couple. It'd be 2.
I understand.
I got
but
1. It's 1. I got a couple. 2.
A couple of kids.
Couple
Yeah.
of kids.
No, I get
Like
it.
a few would be like maybe 3, but definitely 4 to 5, and then I got a whole bunch of kids. That'd be like 5 plus.
Yeah. Okay. My second question, describe how you load a dishwasher.
I put the silverware in the thing, in the little silverware compartments. I guess isn't it usually on the bottom? I mean,
Usually,
every
yeah, it's on the
dishwasher.
bottom. Every dishwasher is different, but ours is on the bottom.
I've always seen it on the bottom. I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing it anywhere else.
I think some people have it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's
But
always on the
I
bottom.
put the silverware in that. Then I put plates on the bottom. And then other type of maybe whatever pots or pans or cooking things. I put that like on the bottom and just kind of in bowls and stuff. I just kind of stack, get it in there to where there's enough water getting in there, but it's just all over it. Try to put as many as possible, and then on the top, I put like if we have like not well, yeah, spatulas, and then other like bigger cooking utensils. I kind of put that out in kind of the middle,
Hmm.
and then I put as many cups like around the sides and glasses, and then stuff in the middle, and just kind of, and then the
Yeah.
things that are like I don't know, what do you call it,
Like
the
that's
orange thing that you got that has all the holes and stuff.
a colander.
Yes, that. I'll put those like on top
Uh-huh.
because water can go through those.
Do you think that do you think that people would disagree about that?
Probably, but I don't give a crap
Yeah.
because I'm washing my dishes, and I'm washing the dishes, so you can take it or leave it if you don't like it.
You think that's one of those things where it's like, well, if you disagree with it, you do the dishes. Like you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a problem with it, have at it.
Right. Right.
I try to put as much dishes in there as possible, and
Yeah.
just so we can get it clean. If
Right.
I'm going to run that thing and I'm going to use up all the electricity and water and everything I'm using it to run, and I'm going to get as much crap done as possible.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's me. But I mean, I'm sure other people have. I mean, some people like putting their silverware with their like forks up and knives up and stuff. Man, that just, every time I've gone in there and I cut myself, and no, I'm not.
That is a strict rule at our house
No,
that
no
it's
knives up.
knives down, forks down. So
Somebody's
Quentin,
going.
so Quentin does not cut
Well, it's
himself.
not, and it's not just me. And we've had like our kids have reached in there and they get poked and stuff.
I just think you could also just watch out for them.
Or you can put them
But we do.
danger down. How about
Danger,
that?
danger down. Okay. Last week we came out with the big statement that neither of us really liked Hamilton so much that we didn't
Oh, the
even get,
musical.
yeah, we didn't even get
Okay.
halfway through it, and that may
Yeah.
have alienated half of our audience. We may have
Yeah.
just alienated half of
I
the
don't.
other half.
My thing is, I don't. Are there other ways to do dishes? Yes.
Yeah.
Are they better? Maybe. But if somebody wants to do it that way, have at it.
Yeah.
I got
True.
dishes in the sink right now.
So, question number 3. When it comes to how to do something the right way, what do you think is the number one thing that couples argue over? Like how to do something the right way.
Like what thing they're arguing about?
Yeah, like what is
to
it
do?
that they're arguing about?
God, probably cleaning.
You think so?
I would assume. I would
Yeah.
assume so because, I mean, I wouldn't say laundry because I don't think many people have that strong of opinion on that. But I
Hmm.
think people have a stronger opinion. As well, I don't know, because talking about bill paying, stuff like that, people get and have a lot of arguments about bill paying.
True.
Um, Investments or money or any of
Hmm.
that, anything money I would take money because I think that's just pretty much an argument
Yeah.
in and of itself. um Outside of money, I would say, well, child rearing.
Yeah.
Good lord,
Yeah,
I've
that's a
done
good
a
one.
bunch because, I
Yeah.
mean, there are things that one person may feel strongly about and the other person doesn't, and thinks that person's overreacting or
Hmm.
invite whatever. um
Because that one can change too when you're in the moment
yeah,
based on so many other factors
yeah,
that I mean, I'll be honest, there's times where you react one way and I'll be like, "Oh my god, babe, like calm down." When the very next day, I could react the same way because it's just a moment of such
yeah,
frustration
yeah,
where you're just done.
yeah.
Which that could be a good thing too though, that you have another person there with you to be like, "Hey, let's calm down."
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because there's so much. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, other than the important things like
Sure.
child rearing and money, that sounds kind of shallow. Important things like money, but I mean, you're talking
I mean,
about
yeah.
savings and earning and
It
building and
it's a big
investment, and
pillar of your
it
relationship,
is, it
you
is.
know?
Um, I would say, after all the major crap, I would say, I mean, I would say probably some cleaning.
Cleaning.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Because, I mean, somebody might think, "Oh, you got to sanitize it like this," and the other person's, "No, that's stupid."
Sanitizing, stupid. No.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm
all
kidding.
sorts of stuff. I mean, because there's,
Yeah. Or like straightening things up. Like, perfect example. our youngest likes to straighten the pillows on the couch. And I come back and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I have to go back and redo it, and or things like making the bed or just picking up clutter or what you think is clutter or
And
not
and
clutter.
ironically, I've been getting on to them about cleaning their freaking room
Yeah.
and cleaning their closet and all this other stuff, but it's something that I was messy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's like I was maybe a different kind of messy.
Hmm.
It's like I may not have cleaned, but I didn't lose things. I didn't like as far as like a
Yeah.
sweater. I can't find my green sweater. I need my green sweater. And I'm like, well, it's probably in the foot of your bed. What? No, I've looked. And then go to the foot of the bed, and there's just like all these blankets and pillows and toys and costumes and all this stuff just stuffed there. And then I mean, then no, it's not there. It's
Yeah.
actually in a big pile of stuff that's in clothes behind her hanging clothes.
Yeah.
And she was like, I didn't know where that was. I said, go and pull out all those clothes.
I was really bad about
See, I
clothes.
wasn't. I mean, I wasn't about that stuff. I mean, I
Hmm.
had other things. Like I would typically sleep on the couch because my bed was saved for my guitars, and stuff like that. I mean, I would typically have stuff like that, but I wouldn't lose clothing.
Right.
I kept up with my clothes. I just
Right.
didn't stuff it under the bed even more. There might be no telling what's under the bed,
Right.
but I knew.
You knew.
I knew.
Well, shall we take a look at what the internet says
Yes,
about
let's
this?
see what the internet says and its genius.
So this was actually something hard to look up. And so I just found specific instances. And so
Mm.
two specific things. Uh First, starting with driving,
Ugh.
because that's definitely something that couples, I think, like, don't like how the other person does it.
I hate. I do not like the way you drive, and I hate the way you tell me how to drive.
This is true. Okay.
We're
I
about to we're about to get an
We're
argument
about to get
right
in an
now.
argument right now. The Sun, a UK, uh,
The sun.
the Sun.
I know what the sun
Oh,
is.
is this a popular
Yeah.
UK thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So,
Fantastic.
fantastic. I'm going to read this in a British accent if I could do a British accent, but I can't. So,
No.
they call it carguments.
Carguments.
Carguments. Is driving ruining your relationship?
I wouldn't say ruin him, but it's a big thorn in my butt.
Well, here's how to avoid an argument in the car.
Please. Please tell me how to avoid an argument in the stupid freaking car.
Well,
I'm
here's
getting mad thinking about it.
Here's their tips. One, understand what sets you or your partner off.
What sets me off?
Um, the the invisible brake, and the grasping of the.
And mind you, when that happens, it's somebody 50 yards up, tap the brake, went red, red. That's it.
So here's the thing. I think
Mm.
why it's so stressful in the car is because if you're the passenger in a car and you know how to drive, because I think if you don't know how to drive, if you're a child, um, then these things don't occur to you. But
Mhm.
when you're aware of how to drive, then mentally you're expecting the car to operate exactly as if you were driving. So if the car does not slow down at the very second where your brain tells you it should be slowing down, then that causes panic.
Yeah, I'm just going through all sorts of different things, just kind of rushing through my mind because typically, when you do
Yeah.
that thing, the invisible brake pump, and the car is like 50 yards ahead of me, and they start flashing their brakes. I've usually just taken my foot off the gas, and so
Yeah.
we're already starting to slow.
Right.
I may have already been on the brake a little bit, but you're
Uh-huh.
freaking me out, or you'll and all this stuff. It ticks me off
Can we preface this with we're both statistically safe drivers?
very much.
Like, no accident. Well, not in the last
20,
20
God,
years.
no, 23 years
Yeah.
for me.
Um, no accidents, no I mean, tickets we'll use loosely because there's always I think you've gotten a few, like, speed trap things that were just stupid.
I've gotten on camera. I've
Right, and
gotten like
camera
a couple of
tickets.
those camera tickets. You've gotten I've
I've
gotten
gotten
a couple
parking
parking
tickets,
tickets.
but no major violations, no major tickets, no
No, no, actually,
accidents
I had one speed trap ticket.
in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10 years ago,
yeah,
and that was the first ticket I've had in. Well, I had 10 years before
yeah.
that.
So we're
Yeah,
both considered, like,
and
safe
I'm an
drivers.
aggressive driver as well. I'm aggressive.
Yeah,
I admit it. I'm aggressive,
yeah.
but I'm aggressive, but I'm safe aggressive.
So, number
So
2, I'm getting stressed out right now.
you should
Maybe
be.
these tips, I'm going to read these tips.
Hmm.
Reduce stress. So, you're in a small confined space like a car, you're already on edge. So, avoid traffic hotspots and not being cramped up
I
inside for a
try to avoid
long
uh,
amount of time and excess clutter. So maybe move your
excess
seat back.
clutter.
Like if you have a like maybe if you're on a trip and you have a bunch of
Oh, a
stuff
bunch of
packed in
stuff.
the
Yeah,
car, maybe
I
just be
guess.
able to have some space. Tip number 3, breathe. Focus on breathing.
Uh huh.
4, music. So you can watch our last episode about music. And number 5, just make sure to keep the air on as much as possible to keep the air
I do.
circulating and cool.
I like that. Except if I've been
Uh-huh.
in the car for a long time, I don't like
Yeah.
it to be so.
I One of the best things I learned, this isn't in the article, was about especially if you're a passenger and you deal with uh like if you're a stressed out passenger,
Mm,
then you need to change your physiological state. So instead of just sitting in the car like you would normally sit in a car, like maybe try crossing your legs or holding something. Holding a pillow makes me feel safe.
really?
Yeah. Because that way, if you crash, you have a pillow.
Yeah, that's gonna matter.
Okay. So I had another article about driving in a car, but we're just not even going to go there.
No, is yeah.
Yeah. I did come across on an article on yourtango.com the psychological reason why so many couples fight about the dishwasher. Now,
Okay.
I can't say that I 100% agree with this, but they did get, I mean, an expert's opinion on this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is by Adriana Peretz. She's not the expert, but she did interview John Gottman,
Oh,
who's
yeah. He's a relationship
yeah, is like
guru.
guru of love, right?
Yeah, we read one of his. In
We
one of his
did,
books.
yeah.
What I don't remember the name of it.
It runs the Gottman Institute where they
Yeah,
actually study like relationships and they apply the scientific method to
okay. I'd
relationships.
be interested to hear what he has to say.
Okay.
Maybe,
He says
unless I find it full of crap.
the dishwasher is a symbol of something deeper. It symbolizes the gridlock in your marriage. It's the intersection where my hang-ups meet his.
Okay, I think that's a
I
little bit
don't
too
know.
deep.
Okay, so that's not a quote. So let's see. His quote says, "It is a sign that you have dreams for your life that aren't being addressed or respected by each other. Some are very practical, but others are profound."
Is this? Well, hang on. Let me interrupt you.
Uh-huh.
Is this for people that have issues with the dishwasher?
Yeah, like
Because I honestly, I don't care.
right.
So
Right.
I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
If you don't like the way I'm doing it and you want to do it another way,
Yeah.
have at
I
it.
think there's been times we've loaded the dishwasher and I look at it and there may be things where either one, I see something and if it's going to be positioned that way, I don't think it's really going to get clean, or two, there's more dishes to put in. And now because if you don't have a lot of
Okay,
dishes,
and that second one,
uh-huh.
that is usually not me. I usually get everything.
No. So let's say for instance you load the dishwasher thinking this is it. But then we eat another meal before we run the dishwasher. And so now all of a sudden we have a whole bunch of
don't do
more
that.
dishes.
I run the dishwasher when I.
Okay. Well, in that instance, you're going to have to go in and rearrange things to make sometimes to based on how you loaded it. So if there's more dishes to put in and the additional dishes won't fit based on how the previous dishes were loaded, then you're going to have to rearrange things. And those are
Okay.
really the only two instances where I can think where I would just completely redo it.
Okay, because I normally would just find a space and slam that
Yeah.
sucker in there and go on about life, turn the dishwasher on, and be done.
Yeah.
That's me.
No, he says, often the deeper dreams remain hidden while the more mundane dreams piggyback on top of them and are easier to see.
Okay.
Oh, it's rooted in childhood too. Hold on. They are hidden. Our deepest dreams are rooted in our memories from childhood. They are hidden or not respected by your spouse. When this occurs, you may either have open battles over the issue or it may go underground and be expressed symbolically. Um, so I feel like you, at this point, babe, I don't think you really respect my desires to be the first woman in the NBA and have a country album.
If you can do it and make money, I'm good with that.
That's a really interesting
But
take because
first woman in the NBA, not the.
not the WNBA.
You have to hurt some people up in there.
I don't know if this. I don't know.
If you go to the NBA, you're gonna have to hurt some people.
This whole article, like, I don't know if it's like she's stretching John Gottman's quotes about something else,
Probably,
or
because
if
that sounds a bit far fetched.
because we've read John Gottman stuff and it's very practical studies, and this seems a little like, I mean, maybe he said, well, it could be rooted in this, or you could just be legitimately arguing over just how to load a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, you can load. You know what, baby? You can load the dishes however you want to.
Yeah.
And I support that.
Thanks.
I support that whatever decision you make. I'm there.
You can fold that laundry all the way you want to, like, just however you want. Actually, no, don't. Can you fold my tank tops the way I like to fold my tank tops? Okay.
Fold your tank tops
All right. So before this ruins our relationship, let's go ahead and end this episode. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Again, click subscribe, comment, and like. We'd love to hear your feedback and really appreciate everyone who listens to this. So just it really means a lot, and we hope that this brings some positivity to your world, to know that you're not alone because other people
are sitting there getting mad thinking about driving as well.
Yeah, maybe we're not. Maybe this episode did absolutely no good. It just caused more problems. Well, that's it for us at Working Together-ish. Again, I'm Kat Rockwell and Quentin Rockwell. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks so much for listening. Working Together-ish is produced by Lauren Jackson at the Rockwell team. The theme song is Stab at Love by The Shiny Darks.